in the library when you should be doing your homework. So yeah, it was definitely a tool, but it wasn't. But what concerned me about the book is how so many people gravitated to what wasn't even in there. How so many people gravitated to the person they thought I was, not the person I was describing. How many people, answer me this, how old was I, of you that read the book, how old was I when I was raped? How many people know that? Out of all the people that read this book in this room, 3 or 4 of y'all know that. Because you're so busy wondering what Diddy did. Because you're obsessed with celebrity culture. Because who on here went to media takeout today? This week? This month? Who even knows what media takeout is? Because so many of us are so into blogs and celebrity culture that we'd rather go to someplace like media takeout, and ain't none of y'all picked up a Newsweek or a New York Post to find out what's going on in the world for real. And no, okay, she has. The point that I'm trying to make is that a lot of times in general, and I'm generalizing here because I don't know any of you guys personally, is that we pay too much attention to the celebrity and not enough to what the issue is. And a lot of you missed the issues in that book. And you could have learned something if you weren't so busy trying to figure out what Diddy did and what Usher did and all that gossip. And you missed the point. A lot of people miss the point. But you can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. Especially in Kool-Aid. What's your relationship with... I'm not answering that.
Oh.
Don't ask me about my personal life and people I know right now. That's tacky. Ask me something important. Why are you concerned? First of all, Lil Wayne wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire. Who cares? If you were starving in the streets, he wouldn't give you a dime. He would roll over you with his tour bus and keep it pushing. Y'all be idolizing the wrong folk. That man is an addict. That man is an addict. That's a drug addict. Why are we talking about him? Okay, here's a good question.
Thanks, bro.
Question. As a mother, how are you going to deal with the questions and concerns of your son when he gets old enough to communicate the rumors he hears about you? First of all, my son doesn't read media takeout. And let me get to this, and this is an important thing for me. When I was growing up, and for those of you who know, I grew up on an island that was 20, 30 miles long in the middle of nowhere. And my grandmother raised me for the most part. When they say a child stays in a child's place, we did. I didn't know grown folk business until I was grown folk. And my son is being raised the same way. That's just it. When he becomes old enough to where we can discuss the facts of life, that's what we will do. We will discuss the facts of life. I have a hard time understanding what this question means, because you ask me as if there should be some other thing to do. What will you do? I will tell the exact truth, the way I always have. I am the truth sayer. There is nothing else to be said. There is no other recourse. There's no other course of action. You ask me a question, I tell you how it T.I. is. And that's the way it's always going to be with me. Be it my son, be it somebody else's child, be it one of y'all, you're going to get it like it happened. I'm not ashamed of anything. Because what I've done and where I've been got him where he is. And he ain't hungry. And he don't need for nothing.
For real.
I don't need you guys to really do anything right now. Would you allow him to read your books? Not only will I allow him, but as it has been here at this school, it will be required reading. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he was the only man that was with me the whole time. He's going to be 11 in January, and he's the only man that has been with me for 11 years. My daddy wasn't even there that long. So he deserves to know what I went through to get him here. The nights that we slept in that car in the dead of winter and had nowhere to go, and him covered up in my leather coat and me freezing to death. Yeah, he needs to know that. Not to mention the 51 hours I spent in labor with him just to get him to this planet.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, 51. He needs to know that his mother, and to this day, would do anything to feed him. If I had to shoot myself in the face to know that for the rest of his life he'd be okay, I would do so, because that is what a mother does.
That's real talk.
If I have to sell my body on the corner at Sunset and La Brea, I will do so. No problem.
That's real talk.
I will sell it till the sun comes up if I thought that that was the only way that little boy was going to eat and go to the school he goes to and gets clothed and has a warm jacket for winter and shoes that fit. So why would I be ashamed of that? Because I didn't do it for me. If I was by myself, I wouldn't have done half the crap I did. But I did it because I can't see my child go hungry. It's a true story. I was in the drive-thru in Ventura and Woodland Hills. There's a Jack in the Box. We were homeless, sleeping in the hotel up the street. Magic Johnson paid for a couple of months, so we had some place to stay for a while. And I had run out of money. I had $1 in quarters. And it came down to whether him or I were going to eat. That's it. I had $1. Retract that. It wasn't quarters, it was $1. And I'll tell you why I remember. It was a solid $1. Because as I ordered that spicy chicken sandwich, because my son likes spicy food, I wrote on the $1 my name, and that one day I would be a famous author. And that whoever found that $1 could turn it in for a whole lot more than that. That was before any books, before y'all ever heard of me. And he ate his spicy chicken sandwich, and I went to bed hungry. Somebody somewhere got that damn $1. And as long as they don't ask for $1 million back, I'm straight. So, I mean, it just goes to show what a mom will do. And for those of you who aren't parents yet, you'll know, hopefully you'll know one day what you'll do for your kids. And what I wish was that my mother, who has never been honest with me about what she did, I wish that she was. Because I'd respect her more as a woman, and I'd love her more as a human being. Because one thing about kids, you could be a crack whore in the street, and as long as you love them and are honest with them, they will love you back. Because it's the only person on the planet that God has put here to love you as He loves you. Nobody would ever love you the same. So I have no reason to hide that from somebody that, for me, is the reason why I'm even alive. I would have killed myself a long time ago if I didn't have that boy.